I think he's got a wonderful personality and he's very, very Welsh, which is nice. He likes to sort of bring this kind of Welsh cheekiness or impishness into everything he does.
I think he's doing something which is entirely new in every way. I mean, there is certainly no history of knitted evening wear, let alone sort of transparent knitwear.
All the time he's trying to break the boundary in terms of technical innovation, but also what he knits with in terms of the yarns he uses. Really things that have never been knitted before. So he's extraordinarily creative.
When people normally think of knitwear, and people would ask me, oh, what do you do? I'd say, oh, I'm a knitwear designer. And they'd automatically say, oh, you make jumpers then? And I'd say, no, I don't make jumpers. I make, very sexy dresses. Then they'd say, oh, well, look, like thick, chunky jumpers, long dresses, cardigans, hats, bobble hats. And I say, no. I said, I create modern knitwear.
Julien Macdonald is one of Britain's leading young fashion designers. His revolutionary knitwear has been the talk of Paris, Milan and London for the past 2 years. 1997 sees a big challenge for Julien, the launch of his first catwalk collection in the media glare of London Fashion Week. Work on the collection began in northern Italy in late August.
Hi, Julia. How are you?
Come stai?
Bene, tu?
Miss Diana is one of Europe's top knitwear manufacturers. Her state-of-the-art factory near Bologna is everything a young designer could dream of. Julien's already been there once to go over the designs with Miss Diana and choose fabrics. Now, 6 weeks later, he's back to see the prototypes of the collection for the very first time.
Wow. Right.
Non lo so.
Oh, wow. It's amazing.
I think they are really fantastic.
Oh, they're brilliant. Bravo! Well, it's amazing for me. It's just like a treasure box, a box of tricks, because everything I can do, they can do better than me and make things, well, make my dreams really come true. Things that I dream about, I can't do. Miss Diana likes to try to make them and does make them come true. Very special, cutting-edge developments in knitwear. Oh, it's fantastic.
One of them.
This is new for you.
This is really new. Actually, it's everything new, but
everything.
Julien è un ragazzo molto giovane, molto entusiasta e quindi per una donna di una certa età con tante esperienze è molto bello perché la tecnica e lo stile con molti anni di diversità. Quindi posso mettere la mia tecnica, che è 30 anni di lavoro, applicarla a un giovane con delle nuove idee, con delle nuove generazioni. Quindi questo mix, se è giusto, può essere vincente.
I think that here in Italy, and we can say perhaps also in Europe, she's one of the best knitwear makers. She does a lot of research. I mean, she's always traveling around the world, seeing exactly what is dressed in the streets, what the young people has on. She always let the designer feel like at home, having all what they need to work. So I think that's really like paradise.
Sono pronte?
You do with the big She's very fun to work with, and she's also very tiring because, I'm young and she's much older than me, and when I feel tired, she is very alive and awake. And I think this comes with experience because she's used to working with so many designers. And she's a very exciting and fantastic lady to work with because she will try anything.
Giulia!
No, dress.
È simpatico! Giulia!
I'd see and I can take the pins out there.
No, perché qua è brutto sformato, eh?
He's very manual. I mean, normally for knitwears, you have to have a good relation with yarns because those are the materials of the designer. And so you have really to know how they can be worked. And I think he really can see materials from a yarn, what is the right translation. That it's not so easy in knitwear, so not all the designer can do that. So I think if a good designer that has his features meets a good knitwear factory, then it's the best.
Can we make this smaller?
Yes.
Have you got, These are the prototypes, the fashion toiles. And this is the first time I've seen the collection actually made into garments, because when you design the sketchings are very small, they're not real. Then when you see the clothes, they're actually real clothes, you know, for real women. And when you see them on the body, you know, it's exciting, but it's also a time for change. You know, we change the colours, we change the sizes of the sleeves, the armholes, the lengths of the dresses, the backs. And some things work and some things don't. But this is the fun part, this is the design part. Yeah, that's it, fine.
Matta sì, perché il termine matto per me voleva dire cambiamento, cioè anche se lui fa tribolare, cioè voglio dire anche se ci sono dei cambiamenti che sono non facili, sono difficili per la fabbrica, per realizzare, però è bello perché lo dice in maniera simpatica, quindi quando dico è matto è perché evolve.
Julian's own evolution as a fashion designer started when he was growing up in Merthyr Tydfil.
When he was a teenager, he was different from all the other boys. I'd give him money to go to town with all the other boys to buy sweaters or shirt, whatever the boys were buying, because they used to start then to go out in the night. He'd come home then, well, he'd buy something way out. And I used to say to him, well, Julian, that's too big for you. That's not going to look nice to you. You wait now till I finish. He'd get the machine down. Well, whatever he bought, he'd make it all different then.
I remember I would often go to Cardiff and buy things from the markets and things, kind of recycle them. And for me, you know, Cardiff was such a big place. You know, living in such a small valley town, it was a big thing to do. And I remember I always used to do funny things to my hair. I used to have perms and cut it and perhaps imitate, you know, a kind of pop star or somebody I liked.
He used to look really trendy, I gotta be truthful with you. He did. He used to look the part when he used to go out. And he used to put a lot of effort into it. From his hair to his shoes. I've seen him going out with odd shoes on. I've seen him going out with one lace done up or one lace undone. You name it, and he's done it.
The funny thing is about me, when I was young, I was never actually good at anything. I was always bottom of the class and not top of the class. And people would just think, oh, he'll just end up in Hoover's or in the light bulb factory. He'll never actually make anything of himself. When I went to Brighton, I was never the best in the college at the beginning. Everything would always fall off the machine and they'd say, oh God, you know, you're hopeless and, you know, you take ages to do everything. And then what happened is as soon as I started to work with other people, I learnt myself, because when I used to work for Cobweb, he would say, oh, Julian, this is a dress. Can you make a dress? And of course, I'd never, ever made a dress. I'd never made a jumper. I'd never even made a bobble hat. I'd knitted little squares. And all of a sudden, I was in the situation where I had to make a dress. So I would go to the library, get a book, and actually read how to make a dress. And then I would make the dress. I remember waking up one morning and everything just clicked. Everything just fell into part. It was almost as if somebody had come to me one night and kind of sprinkled magic dust over me, and I woke up and I could do all these things because the day before I couldn't do them.
After Brighton, Julian's progress was rapid. Studying at the Royal College of Art, he took part in a competition to design clothes for one of the top names in the fashion business, Chanel's Karl Lagerfeld.
I was very scared and I was shaking because don't forget, you know, Mr. Lagerfeld is, you know, the most famous designer in the world. Then when he actually saw what I did, of course for him, he'd never actually seen fabrics like mine before. You know, because what I do is very unique to me. It's very modern, it's very edgy. It can be young and it can be very old and very sophisticated. So I had something that he wanted. So of course I won the competition. He loved my work, and there was me and 2 other people that got sent to Karl Lagerfeld and Chanel headquarters to spend the summer in Paris.
At the end of the holidays, the other students went back to college, but Julien was asked to stay on and become Karl Lagerfeld and Chanel's knitwear chief.
There I was, 22 years old, Julien Macdonald from Merthyr Tydfil, South Wales. You know, it was odd. You know, I was the knitwear designer for Chanel. You know, I was the boss. I didn't answer to anybody at all. Karl just let me do whatever I wanted to do. If I wanted to do something, I could just do it. And then I would have to go to all the factories to supervise all the production. I said, oh, hello, I'm Mr. Macdonald. And they'd be like, well, you can't be Mr. Macdonald, you know, you're so young. And they would phone up Chanel headquarters and say, oh, we've got this young boy, you know, he says he's the knitwear designer for Chanel. Is it true? And they'd say, yes, you know, Mr. Macdonald is the boss. You know, if he says, you know, it's black and 3 meters, it's black and 3 meters. I just remember I was actually dressing Naomi Campbell and I'd sent her off, and all of a sudden it was like, Julien. And I remember Andre Leon Telly grabbing me and saying, quick, Karl wants you. And I just thought, oh my God, something's broken, the dress is ripped, or they want me to do something. So then I ran to the car at the side of the car and I said, oh, Karl, what's the matter, what do you want? They said, oh, we're all going on the runway now. I said, oh, what do you mean, so you coming on the runway with me? And I said, no. I said, no, I'm not. I said, it's not my show. I said, it's your show. I said, no, you're coming with me. Then all of a sudden, I was just being pushed onto the runway. And then, of course, in front of me, there was all of Paris.
Karl took the very unusual step of actually bringing Julien out onto the catwalk with him. And normally, Karl Lagerfeld is a man who likes to keep the limelight to himself. So I think we all realised instantly that this was something quite special. I think what I liked about Julien, and I think what everybody notices, is his kind of wizardry with weaving and the fact that he's completely at home using very strange materials, like, you know, silver thread, gold thread, metal, the kind of fibres and textures and elements that you wouldn't normally associate with knitwear.
Well, it was something I was doing for a long time. I just developed the technique for very feminine, lacy fabrics, and American Vogue kind of quoted me as being, you know, the genius of knitwear, and you know, and then in Harper's Bazaar, Julien Macdonald, the supreme knitwear designer. Then in British Vogue, Julien Macdonald, and the king of knitwear. All of a sudden, I became king of the cobweb.
I think on the whole we associate knitwear with daywear. We think it's comfy, it's stretchy, we wear it in layers. And Julien's taken knitwear into an entirely new realm. The one thing that perhaps we could liken it to is cobwebby knitting, but it's something that's always been used for shawls in wool, certainly not in sort of transparent body moulding evening gowns. Julien's clothes are appealing to a new fashion client, perhaps not always used to wearing evening wear, and what he's done with this dress is he's taken the basic shape of the V-neck t-shirt, which is something that sort of 1990s women are familiar with, and married it with a style, I suppose, which could be likened to 1930s bias cut, sort of body moulding evening wear, and married the two together.
I think you've got to be special to wear them. I think you've got to be really trim. I've no cellulite. we can't wear them. They are really special, his clothes, and I don't think that a lot of people can afford them. I think you've got to be in the right sort of work to be able to wear them and to buy them.
But things are about to change. Julian's been working with Marks & Spencer to create a new collection specially designed for the high street.
When he first came to see me, the first sort of interview we had when he was talking about actually designing for a chain store, it excited him. Not only was he excited about working with Karl Lagerfeld at Chanel and making his own couture collection, but he was very excited about putting clothes together that his sisters could afford in Cardiff and, that were affordable to a lot of people.
It's very different because my fabrics are very technical, so firstly I have to teach the factory how to make my fabrics. And then, of course, with Marks & Spencer, it's about price and quality. So it has to be at a price that people can afford, and that at a quality that's acceptable to a Marks & Spencer's customer. So it's actually very, very challenging. And you have to make things which people want to wear, and that all people can wear, from a size 8, and also something that somebody at a size 16 can wear.
What we will get is the flavour of his couture clothes and what we saw on the catwalk, but they will obviously be reinvented for mass production. And as I said, he's very keen that we have prices that his sisters can afford. He keeps going back to that. But what you'll still get is the creativity, and you'll get those very lacy knits and the sheer looks and the fine sort of gossamer weights, the creativity with yarns that he is known for. These will be wearable, very special and very glamorous.
London or Britain is unique in the world in the opportunities it does afford young designers on the high street. And in the last couple of years, we've seen many such marriages springing up between Debenhams and Jasper Conran, between Dorothy Perkins and Clemence Ribeiro, between BHS and Paul Frith, and Marks & Sparks with Julien Macdonald is one of the latest kind of designer partnerships. And what it means is that Julien's sort of the wilder extremes that he can go to on the catwalk, encouraged by somebody like Karl Lagerfeld, can then be tempered and sort of toned down for the mass market consumer by a company such as Marks & Spencer's.
The best.
Julien's Marks & Spencer clothes hit the streets in May, and the company are also the sponsors behind his new show. The collection marks a radical departure from his cobweb chic.
Yeah, I like that.
And underneath, how it must go? So short or
Yeah.
has the same length?
Allora, no. Questo corto, aspetta.
Corto.
Non ero poi mai stata messa in sport.
Yeah, it's better now. Can you walk now? Small things make a lot of difference. That's better. This will be a really, really big shock for many people, because my work before was much, much more sophisticated and it catered for a different clientele. The new collection is very young. It's fun, it's short and it's extremely sexy. And I think for the customers I have now, they will be very kind of, where is the old Julien Macdonald? But of course fashion is about change, and if you don't change, then you get left behind.
Io ho avuto la fortuna di lavorare veramente con dei grandi stilisti e ho fatto delle grandi esperienze. Questo può essere, e mi auguro, che sia lo stilista del 2000.
Back home, there's only 2 weeks to go before London Fashion Week. It's an organisational nightmare.
Got to go to Paris tomorrow as well. Who have you put confirmation on?
I haven't confirmed anyone yet.
But I thought we were going to do that.
We can do that tomorrow.
No, Joanne, I thought you were going to do that. You have to do that straight away. Well, London Fashion Week is probably the most important event of the year for fashion designers, and it's where you show your clothes to everybody in the fashion business and everybody in the world. The most prestigious event on that calendar is actually having the last show because the last show makes everybody stay, it makes the buyers stay, it makes the press stay. And of course, I'm their last show, it's an immense pressure.
Do you know what I mean? It looks like it is quite difficult to work with, you know.
There's two sides to this business. There's a side which is very glamorous and fun, and there's a side which is extremely bitchy and very catty, and, you know, people which have daggers who just want to put you down on every instance. So I surround myself with people who I think are nice and genuine in their profession and also in their personal life. So I always ask my friends to make things for me, and the people who work for me, they become my friends, and we work as a family and as a team, where, you know, we all work together to create a look, which isn't just about Julien Macdonald, it's about everybody.
And if you see at the front, and then we can take them off, and what we've done with the design, we can just change it round, so Julien can change rapidly. Julien's renowned for changing collections in between collections, so that's quite good, and for me it's quite inspiring and quite encouraging, because I have to change as rapidly as Julien does. So, and that's good, because it means that we get loads of ideas out, and perhaps what we don't use this season we'll use again next season. So there's elements which we keep, but again, it's knowing each other's vocabulary of design and what the limits are.
Julien's workshop is in the old garment district of London's East End. The day before the show, the final details are still being stitched into place.
I always tend to cast the models I know. I always pick the models I've met through, you know, Chanel and through Karl Lagerfeld, and the girls that know me, so they know what I'm like, so then I can enjoy myself, because I'm surrounded by friends. I always design thinking, oh, that'll be Naomi Campbell, or that'll be Jodie Kidd. I know exactly what each girl will wear. This is it.
It's important to make your mark with your first catwalk show, and Julien's chosen a rather unusual venue to do just that.
Well, this is Spitalfields Opera House, and this is the location for the show. I've just come myself about 10 minutes ago, just to see the space. Well, I like it because outside is such it's reality outside. There's people playing football, there's market stalls, there's fruit and veg, the fishmonger. When you walk through the door, I said, oh, what's that smell? And somebody always said, oh, it's the fish shop opposite. So that's real, and that's also what London and this part of London, the East End, is about. So it's amazing. In this room tomorrow night will be 500 of the world's most prestigious press and journalists, pop stars and media celebrities, and also some of the most richest women in the world as well, who will actually be buying the clothes. So it's very important that the first impression is strong. There's him, and there's a PA, and there's a guy on bongo drums. Last night I was very nervous, and I thought, oh God, is it worth it, all this fuss, all this performance? Because people think it's very glamorous, but you know, the pressure is immense, and I'm extremely tired, and I'm very fragile, so the smallest thing affects me now, because I'm on my wit's end.
The last day of London Fashion Week has arrived, and the final reports are being filed by the world's fashion press. Meanwhile, over at Spitalfields, everything's almost ready for the show. But the front of house calm belies the chaos backstage.
It's very stressful being a designer. Although it's, you know, it's fun and it is glamorous. Everything is addressed to you. You know, what colour shoes, how do you want this, and what music do you want, what drinks do you want, what time do you want people to come. You have to have the answers for everything. Everybody's kind of working for you free. Nobody gets paid. Everybody's there because they love fashion. It's because you have to be nice to everybody.
Delegated dresses for a girl, that's your job. to the fashion show going on inside. You must know that, you know.
Rolls, man.
I like to think that I'm kind of a normal type of guy. You know, I'm quite funny and very easygoing. You know, that I'm there to make everybody enjoy themselves, because if you don't enjoy yourselves, you know, people don't do it, and they don't come back to help you again.
Good work.
10 minutes left to take your photos, please. 10 minutes only for photos. Includes you, Richard, I'm afraid.
Are you excited?
Yes, I am excited.
Isn't he the most... Julien Macdonald's a great character and a wonderful person. And he has a tremendous Celtic spirit, so I think everyone's very excited. And his knitwear is exquisite. I mean, there's no one, probably, that does knitwear like this in the world.
I'm confident about it, because I know it's a strong show. And also that before each girl goes on, I'll check them to see what they look like and everything. So, yeah, I'm happy. It's what I've always wanted, so you know, it's great. When it comes to me going on the catwalk, I'm like a madman. I'm crazed up, you know, because my adrenaline is at a peak. You know, I'm happy. It's over. It's the end. It's ready. So of course, what you do, you run on the catwalk because you're so happy. Like, you know, I finished it. It's over. You know, I loved it. You know, thank you very much.
Excellent. It was. We took a chance on someone so young finishing British Fashion Week, and he pulled it off, and it's very exciting. We just come backstage to see him, and people are literally in tears. It is that exciting.
Sensational. We are all now little flies trapped in Julien Macdonald's web.
100% knit.
There was a lot of interest, also because there was the only one, Julien Macdonald, that was doing knitwear and very young, and everybody was looking for somebody that was doing something new in knitwear.
Am I going to find your mother and father? I want to say thank you. Look at you.
I thought the shoes were exquisite. I thought the clothes were very exciting. You have to look at it as knitwear. For knitwear, it's very modern.
Oh, it's lovely. I didn't want the show to end. It was so lovely.
It was an excellent show. Very, very good. And all the top models there. And he done his mum and dad proud. A Welsh boy from Merthyr Tydfil. Really, really good.
No, I enjoyed it because, you know, my work is my life and also my hobby. And if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it, full stop. So this is what I'm about. This is Julien Macdonald.